What if having what you want is as simple as feeling gratitude for what you already have? I have a morning routine that I do every day that involves gratitude. And when I do this routine on a regular basis, I feel myself fall into what I call the slipstream. And I'll tell you more about what that is later in this video. I also notice that when I don't do it, because none of us is perfect and sometimes we fall short, I notice that when I don't do this routine that involves gratitude, life gets a little bit bumpy, a little bit rocky, and things just don't go as smoothly as I would like them to. So today we're going to talk about how to manifest what you want in your life by gratitude. First, let me introduce myself real quick. If you're new to me, I'm Jen Kunkel. I'm the creator of the Wild Worth Method, empowering you to stop feeling insignificant and to instead step into your wild, savvy self. Unleash your wild, savvy self. That wild, savvy you who is building confidence every single day to boldly step into the juicy life you are passionate about, that you crave, that gives you that real fulfillment, whatever that is for you. And I help you recognize what that is, what you deeply want at your core. And with a streamlined system like the Wild Worth Method, it is way easier than you might think. Okay, so my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, and it is right around the corner as I'm recording this. I love Thanksgiving, and I know it is a controversial holiday these days, but it's not about that for me. For me, it's about family getting together and appreciating each other and appreciating everything in life. Thanksgiving has been the time when we all come together. In more recent years, my niece and nephew, who are grown and moved away, they come back to town for Thanksgiving usually. It's just a really great time. We include everybody. As I was growing up, I live in Las Vegas, which is kind of a, there's a lot of people from a lot of different places. It's like a melting pot. There would be friends of my parents when I was younger that didn't have other places to go. They didn't have family in town. They didn't want to travel to see their family, whatever. And they would all kind of end up at our house. So I'm just really used to big Thanksgivings. I love big Thanksgivings and having everybody come together and just enjoy some good food and company and, gratitude. So to me, it's a great time to remember to have gratitude, even though that is not the only time of the year that you want to do it. As I mentioned, you want to express your gratitude every single day so that you can get into that slipstream. And again, I'm going to share with you what that is. So I like to kind of dive into a little bit of the science side of any of this stuff. I don't like to just be woo-woo. I've always been like a really practical person, and while I have experienced, my own anecdotal scenarios with personal development and feeling the different energy and God and all of that stuff, that I still like to look at the science side, which there really isn't science to explain all of it at this point. We don't have all the answers. We just don't. We can go with what we currently know, and that's kind of how I like to look at it. And I know what feels right in my heart, and I know what I've experienced. So that's what I share with you, and I'm pretty transparent about that. I don't act like, I know something that you don't know. We're all learning all the time, and we're all discovering new things, and we're all, sometimes we make corrections because we're like, that's kind of not checking out anymore. That's not really adding up anymore. So maybe I need to make a little tweak here or there. I want to start out by talking a little bit about the mind-body connection, like how your emotions actually affect your physiology. So think about this, just for anecdotal evidence for yourself, because I have a lot to cover today, so I'm not going to dive too deep into the science. Just think about how you feel butterflies in your stomach when you feel nervous. Maybe you're sad and you feel like, I have a heavy heart, and you can just imagine feeling that way. Or maybe you're feeling a lot of anxiety and your heart's racing, or you're scared of something and your heart starts racing. So you can see that correlation between your emotions and your physical body and your physical state. It's also known that stress can contribute to a lot of diseases. Meditation and calming yourself down and those kind of things can have a positive impact and just your emotions in general. So let's take this a step further and look at, if we're all connected, if our mind isn't just connected to our body, but we're also all connected to one another. We're each connected to everyone else, and everything is energy, and energy is just transmuted into different forms, and it's all connected to each other. So if we're putting out the kind of energy that is heavy or dense, then it feels kind of contractive and small. And if it's dense, density means that all the gaps are filled in. So there's no room for anything else. But if you have this light energy and it's expansive and it's, you can kind of breathe, you have some breathing room and there's space for other things to come in. Just kind of visualize that as far as how you're feeling and your emotion. You feel light, you feel happy, you feel joyful, you're going to attract more good stuff into your life. So the slipstream that I mentioned is when things are just flowing really well, you're high vibe, you're experiencing a lot of synchronicity. Everything's just kind of coming together to create what you want. So that's what I call the slipstream. And I do notice that when I practice this gratitude routine or ritual, it absolutely kind of pulls me into that slipstream. It seems effortless and it all just comes together. Not effortless, I mean, you still have to do things. It doesn't feel like a struggle. You're not like swimming upstream. You're not like fighting all these obstacles constantly. It's all just kind of coming together. So that's the slipstream, and it's about being high vibe and really that feel good, that expansive, open, light energy. Now let's look at this from a God perspective. I didn't grow up religious. I had points in time where I was uncertain about God. I've been everything from agnostic to atheist, and now I have come around. I definitely know there is something, and like I said earlier, none of us really knows. There's not going to be any way to know. But so when I say God, don't let that turn you off, because I get it. I've been there before. Just replace it with whatever works for you. So from a God perspective, God wants the glory, okay? So he's created everything and he wants the glory. It says in the Bible, God wants the glory. So if you're expressing gratitude for what you already have, you're giving God the glory. You can even say prayers or however it works for you. But when you're expressing that gratitude, you're being thankful for what you have received already. And if you look at that from the God perspective and him wanting the glory, then of course he's going to be more apt to give you more of what you want, as opposed to if you just feel entitled to it. Like, just imagine if you give a gift to somebody, you give a gift to maybe a relative or a kid or something, and they're just like, oh, is that all? Or, I'm entitled to the, how come I didn't get the new iPhone or whatever, and you just gave me this crappy pair of socks or something, how would you're going to be like, oh, what a brat. Just kind of look at it in that same way, where God wants the glory. God wants you to be grateful. He wants to be appreciated, okay? Now, to me, that totally makes sense. Everybody who's giving wants to be appreciated for what they are giving. They don't want to be taken for granted. They don't want you to feel entitled. That's kind of a turnoff for giving more. So just think about it from that perspective. Well, I use the word want in the title here, but I want to talk about that for a second. The energy of wanting is kind of this energy of not having. So you actually want to shift that. And you want to feel, it's not like a fake it till you make it, because if you've seen my other stuff, I'm not a fan of fake it till you make it. Don't be artificial. It has to be sincere. You have to feel what you're really feeling in your heart sincerely. So feeling gratitude for the things that you don't have yet. So of course, feel the gratitude for the things you do have. Feel it sincerely in your heart. And then when you're thinking about things that you'd also like to draw in, then sincerely feel that gratitude as if it has already arrived, or it's on its way. Like you placed your order and it's in the mail, kind of, where it's on the delivery truck being ready to be delivered. Just imagine it being like that. So how can you actually put this into practice? So one thing that I do, part of the ritual, is what I call this gratitude spiral. So the reason it's a spiral is I kind of spiral out from myself and I start thinking about, my physical body, like what am I grateful for? Things about my health, that I can walk, that I can, that I'm healthy, that I'm standing, that I have all my whatever it is. And maybe all those things aren't true for you, but you can still be grateful for what you do have, okay? Don't think about what you don't have. Just be grateful for what you do have. And if you don't feel grateful, you can just ask yourself, okay, what is something that I could feel grateful for? And find something that you truly feel grateful for. Because I know sometimes people get into a space, you might get into a space where you feel like, oh my gosh, everything is so horrible right now. I don't have anything to feel grateful for. And if that's how you're feeling, just search. Ask yourself for one thing that you can feel grateful for today, because everybody has one thing that they can feel grateful for. Whether it's that you woke up this morning and you have the opportunity to make changes, whether it's for the fact that you can breathe, whether it's for the fact that you can walk, you can talk, you can see, you can hear. Everyone has something that they can feel grateful for. You can find something for sure. You can speak these things out loud. You can just think about them in your head, but the more active you are in it, the more powerful it is. So you can speak them out loud. You can write them in a journal. That's great. And then the third option is to create a gratitude board, which is so fun. And that's what I'm going to ask you guys to do today. So gratitude board is like a vision board, except for it's for what you already have. So you can put stuff that you already have, and you can also put stuff that you don't already have, but it's just stuff that maybe you're close to, or maybe it's something even bigger than, something you really want from your vision board that you put on your gratitude board too. So just expressing gratitude through a visual representation. So one cool way that I like to do this gratitude board or a vision board is I like to just do a digital one, go into Canva, which is a free tool. It has a free option. It also has a paid option, but it's pretty easy to use. It's user friendly. There's lots of tutorials out there on how to use it. You can just upload your own pictures. Even in the free one, you can upload your own pictures, and you can just paste them into, or you can find ones online that you want to do. Any way you want to do it, they have their own bank of pictures too. But, if you're doing your own board, you can take pictures of stuff that you have in your house, and you can upload them, and you can put them like, this is what I'm grateful for, and just to really focus on things that you're grateful for and have that as a gratitude board. Maybe put it next to your vision board, print it out, put it on your wallpaper on your phone or your computer or whatever. And that's a really fun thing to do. So I am going to ask you to do that, your gratitude board. And then also I have something to make that easier for you. So I'm going to share a link with you, and you can grab a free PDF gratitude board template so that I'll lay out something for you, and some prompts, gratitude prompts, so that if you're struggling with what you feel grateful for, or if you just want to really make it bloom, I'm going to give you lots of prompts so that you can, boost that gratitude immensely. All right, and you can get that at wildsavvy.com/gratitude, wildsavvy.com/gratitude. You can also go to wildsavvy.com/gift, GIFT, not just GIFT, and that is where I have a bunch of free goodies that are similar to this, like checklists, guides, free trainings, things like that. And you can also get the gratitude prompts and the gratitude board template right there. If you have enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends, like and subscribe if you want to hear more about if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. Have a fantastic day, and happy Thanksgiving.